Welcome to Manga Mac News. It's the news that interests us and we think should interest you. This is the news for the week of October 25th, 2021. We are kicking off the news with the announcement that there will be a third season of Mob Psycho 100 anime.
99.9, 99.9.
When did the first season came out?
A couple years ago. Yeah, I don't remember what year, but yeah, they're kind of putting it out a little bit slowly.
Let's see, the original anime series came out in 2016.
Oh, it's a lot more than a couple years ago. That's like 5 years ago.
The live action drama that we covered on the podcast,
Loved
2018.
Oh, I wasn't here for that one. I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's bad.
But we found things enjoyable about it, you know. So.
Yeah. I guess most interesting about this, you've mentioned that like most of the story of Mob Psycho was actually covered in season 2. There's not that much left in the manga, right?
I don't think there's enough content to make 12, 13 episodes. So I don't know if they're going to make a limited amount of episodes for this, or they're just going to add some original stories or something.
I think I trust Bones to do the right thing. I don't mind them adding original stories, but like if it really bogs down the pace of the plot, I would find it disappointing.
Well, they already I think the first 2 episodes of season 2 were added, they didn't exist from the manga.
And I think I really liked the start of season 2, so if that's the case, then I trust Bones. I think. Yeah,
I would also trust Bones. They've done a wonderful job with the first 2 seasons. It's just that I remember from the content that's limited, unless they're just gonna kind of stretch it out a little bit more. I wonder if there's enough for a whole season, as opposed to it might have been better as a movie for Mob Psycho 100.
That would have been really cool too. Getting a huge budget mob movie, that would have been nuts.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna look this torch in the mouth. Next season of Mob Psycho. That's awesome. Very excited.
We don't have a date yet, but yeah, it should be good. Maybe the new song will be 100.
Oh boy.
Because I think the first song is 99 and the second song is 99.9.
Yes, yeah. It's right up to the cusp.
Mm-hmm.
It's good songs, man.
Yep.
More Reagan.
Yep,
I'm
more
happy.
Reagan.
Yes.
Actually, the one made a manga out of Reagan, after they finished Mob Psycho 100.
That's right. I was wondering if they have to do extra content, I feel like they could. I feel like they could make something work. They just do a whole bunch of stuff with him being a weirdo.
Maybe put that in the beginning first, and then because you can, the epicness of the end of Mob Psycho 100 is pretty great. So you don't want to do that and then be now Reagan stories. Be kind of weird.
I mean, there's something I could see that happening though. With I don't know, it's a weird story.
Yeah, maybe palate cleansing the epicness at the end with some Reagan tomfoolery.
Mm-hmm. The next news item I have is also anime related. Jazz manga series Blue Giant is getting an anime movie in 2022.
Boy, aren't you an excited boy?
So I love Blue Giant by Shinichi Ishizuka. We've covered it on the podcast. I've had my glorious rant about the series, whether it be Blue Giant or Blue Giant Supreme or Blue Giant Explorer. It's a great series. I don't think this is a good idea.
I'm not surprised.
Because it's an anime movie. What are they going to be able to cover in an anime movie for a series that it's up to its 3rd part, right? Over 30 volumes at this point, almost.
I think they should adapt it into a standalone movie.
You think this is a good idea?
Well, I don't know if it's I think they could make it. There's plenty of single movies about musicians, that they didn't have to make 7 movies about a single musician. Plenty of movies that cover the life of one musician, right? So if they just kind of do that with Blue Giant, just a different take on it. So it's not the long form storytelling. You kind of do something a little bit more dense, and maybe.
I just don't know what they're gonna do, because if they cover the beginning of the story, the origin, it's pretty short and it's kind of dull. Some of the best part of Blue Giant is the last half of the first series, But like, are you gonna jump in right in the middle then? Like, it's, you know how the silent voice movie, and how it's like very like gotta shove everything in, and like it moves like pretty fast, and it doesn't have a chance to breathe like the actual manga series does. So that's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, if that's worse you have to worry about, I'd say you're probably okay. Like, that movie's still really good.
That's true. Makes me cry every time.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, because like it's such different format, like a single movie, and also just like I doubt they're making 8 movies about this. You know,
No,
it's part
no.
of, yeah, it's like they're making one movie. So what are they going to do? But I don't know. Maybe they'll just adapt in a different way. They don't have to copy the story directly.
I definitely want to check it out, but I'm apprehensive about because I just don't know what could they do. It's the opposite of the previous news item, right? I would have been more excited if it's like a Blue Giant anime series. It's like, that's cool. We can cover the whole story and have a lot of jazz.
Give it to Shinichiro Watanabe and let him do all the rotoscoped jazz sessions.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Like, what is it?
Kids on the Slope.
Kids on the Slope. Yeah.
Love the sessions in that show.
Okay, our final bit of news is kind of a follow-up from last week when we were talking about Disney Plus, licensing anime, but now Disney Plus and Hotstar Japan are teaming up to produce a live-action drama adaptation of the manga Gannibal, which is the horror manga by Ninomiya Masaaki, where a cop goes to a remote village in Japan, and maybe the people in that village might be eating other people. So it's going to star Yuya Yagira as the main character, the cop, and it's directed by Shinzo Katayama. They haven't announced the distribution date yet, but
Disney's a really big company. That's part of the problem.
They're going. They're coming for Netflix. This is what it feels like.
What I was going to say is like they actually make tons of different stuff and a lot of like adult-oriented content, like their own Miramax or whatever the fuck. Wait, do they own Miramax? I thought
Probably. I assume they own Touchstone.
Yeah, I think I just confused myself. I don't even know if that's true or not. But whatever. Like, it's not that weird for Disney to be making like a horror series or whatever. But just because it's like Disney Plus, and I feel like a lot of the branding in Disney Plus has been oriented around like Disney and Star Wars and Marvel, it's just kind of surprising to me. I did a double take when I read. I was like, wait, they're doing Gannibal, of all things. Cool. I mean, I'm kind of interested in seeing that. That could be a really creepy show.
I mean, like, you know how Netflix is doing all these anime like productions?
Yes.
Like Way of the House Husband, they made their anime of, or they're like producing all their like Netflix series and TV shows. It definitely feels like Disney Plus is like, well, we got to get in that Japanese content as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, and I think I'm honestly somewhat surprised it took Disney so long to get on the streaming train. I think it was a matter of like, let those other suckers test out how this streaming thing works out and how much money they can make, and then we're gonna go in and just take everything.
This makes me wonder if there ever could have been like a future where HBO actually like did that monster adaptation that they wanted to do, Dar.
If Guillermo del Toro ever has a chance to revive that, it's probably now with HBO Max. Because they're fucking putting on the Zack Snyder Justice League on that shit. Like, they can fucking put anything on that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they'll make it work. So, like, any kind of fears or, like, things that they felt a bit, like, comfortable with Guillermo del Toro's treatment, I really feel like you're 100% right, Dog. So I think that, like, I have no... Obviously, we have no idea if anybody involved with that is ever going to try to revive that project. But, like, it feels like the ground is a lot better tilled for that.
Yeah, it definitely feels within the realm of possibility.
This also feels like the success of what's that on Netflix, Squid Game?
Yes.
Probably helped like lead to this kind of deal actually going through, because Netflix's Squid Game, which is done. It was done in Korea, right? It was a Korean production.
Yeah, it's a Korean production, but
and it's super popular.
Yeah, the guy who did it like read a ton of manga when he wrote it, including Kaiji.
Oh, it's fucking Kaiji, 100%. Like
it's Kaiji versus and the what's the world? Not the world ends with you. There's the other like death one.
Oh, As the Gods Will.
Yes, as the gods will. Yeah.
Just a combination of those ideas, which is fine. It's fine, and it's super popular. That's great.
To be clear, we haven't seen it. We're just being snooty patooties about it.
Being our manga head selves, but we're not wrong. We're not wrong.
We're never wrong. We've never once been wrong.
But yeah, it's like seeing that they can have an Asian production that is actually popular in the West. That's probably like they're like, yeah, let's get on this live action Gannibal.
It's so funny, like I don't know. To me, I feel like Asian production or like Asian media being successful is like a no-brainer. But then I realized that I've been just in it so long, right? Like watching anime for so long, and it, to me, like, oh, this has always been kind of mainstream. Not from the very beginning, but for a long time, it seems like it's been mainstream. But I guess for the majority of people, it's not because I live in a bubble, I guess.
But people were talking about Alice in Borderland, that live action manga adaptation on Netflix too. So yeah, it's just that Gannibal, like you said, Darfox, it's dark. It's not even like the cannibalism part isn't even the darkest part. There's some fucked up there's some fucked up shit happening in that village with incest and all sorts of stuff and
shit's going down when the cannibalism is not the darkest part.
Oh man.
So yeah, I wonder how much of that will be included in this live action adaptation of Gannibal, brought to us by Hotstar Japan and Disney Plus.
Disney.
I guess the main cast member guys casted, so
yeah,
it's happening. Yeah,
it's happening.
This is real, guys.
I mean, I would expect this to be fairly good quality and well done. Of course, you can say whatever about Japanese production, how it's always going to be a little less with the budget. Yeah, but
if it's got Disney dollars at all in the equation, I don't know I don't know how much Disney is involved in the actual production, but they're probably going to be pretty hands-on with a lot of aspects of it. I'm sure they have certain standards, right? They
which
require.
Is why I wonder about the weird things that isn't even cannibalism. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's exciting times in streaming services as major corporations are like, we need that money, we need that IP, we need those series.
And Gannibal is that translated into English?
No, I don't think so.
That's a really so that's an interesting choice too. Is it's not a property that already
is Disney
recognizable.
Gonna get it into print and manga distribution?
Yeah, that's like a. I'm wondering if somebody's
going to get
through
manga. Tokyo Pop mostly, right?
Some of it, yeah. Yen Press has some too.
Right.
Mostly, we've got Kingdom Hearts manga and light novels, and we've got some of the Star Wars. We've got Rebels and Princess Leia and Lost Stars.
Perhaps in the near future we'll hear an announcement from Yen
maybe
licensing Gannibal.
I'll be honest, except for the conversations here, I have not heard of Gannibal anywhere else, so
Yep.
Well, have you heard about the Manga bump?
That's true. What was it last week that we were like, oh, this is because we talked about this? It was Kamome Shirahama. It was the
anime of Witch Hat Atelier.
Witch Hat Atelier.
Manga Mac bump. It's a thing. If it happens enough times, it's gotta be true.
So we need to start talking about wombs again, I guess.
Yeah. I guess so.
We gotta really get it out there.
What with Dune coming out? If Dune kind of becomes a hit, what if they people are like, oh, people want big sci-fi world with a lot of lore and world building, and then they make wombs. I have foretold it.
Maybe. We were talking about available on HBO, having Monster on HBO. Dune, if you have HBO Max right now, you can just watch it. There's no extra charge.
I watched it last night and it was great.
Is it good? It was good. Yeah, James wants to see it. We might watch it this weekend. I don't like the book.
No, the book is nonsense.
I think Paul is a jackass.
Yeah, and this story goes crazy. You gotta love American 1960s sci-fi. It's the main character Paul and his mother Lady Jessica.
Yeah, no, it's just I have a hard time with Dune, but I am looking forward to the movie. It looks actually really good. So
Well, yeah, that'll be the end of this week's Manga Mac News. Beep 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 beep. Bye.